ma'am. Have a good day. For this video, I'm gonna elaborate the 7 challenges of teaching. Teachers encounter a variety of issues in and out of the classroom, which are either local or global in scope. Addressing cultural diversity, responding to the requirements of special learners with varying talents and intelligence, and incorporating ICT into the teaching and learning process are among the items on the list. Teaching in multicultural and multilingual classrooms, equity, respect for diversity, cultural literacy, and fair treatment of all students are all issues that multicultural education addresses. Cultural minority groups and indigenous peoples are not the only ones who benefit from multicultural education. Every student in schools receive multicultural education. Language is another problem in a multicultural setting because teaching and learning in the local language is one technique to increase knowledge of diverse topics in a specific socio-cultural perspective and context. And here's the instructional strategies to address cultural diversity in a classroom. It could be the content integration, cultural immersion, celebrating cultural diversity, culture responsive pedagogy, teaching local culture, using the local language as medium of instruction. Approaches to integrate indigenous knowledge in the curriculum, it could be the real, problem-based approach, inviting local folks and community leaders as resource person in school, developing instructional materials for teaching indigenous knowledge. And for the second challenges for teaching, it could be that teaching children with special needs, special education, is an area in education that seeks to understand the nature and needs of different learners with special needs. Category of special learners, twice exceptional, and intellectually genius and gifted. For the third one is the teaching in multi-grade classes. Multi-grade teaching involves the teaching of students from the different grade levels in one classroom, where teachers are required to develop skills in handling different students' behavior and in addressing their needs and interests. Employ effective instructional plan that will cover all topics and activities for all the students from varying grade levels. The teachers in public schools are like the missionaries in far communities. Be strong advocates of students' access to quality education, perform multiple tasks for all the grade levels in the classroom, no matter what the subject is being learned. The teachers are facilitators of the learning process. And for the fifth challenges in teaching, it could be the teaching in multiple intelligence classrooms, theory of multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner. Linguistic intelligence is the ability to analyze information and create products involving oral and written language. And the logical is the mathematical intelligence ability to develop equations and proofs, make calculations, and solve abstract problems. Spatial intelligence, it is the ability to recognize and manipulate large-scale and fine-grained images. And six challenges for teaching is the teaching in the learner-centered and constructivist classroom. Learner-centered education is one of the promising products of the progressive movement in education. It refers to a kind of education that considers the knowledge, skills, abilities, attitudes, interests, and beliefs that the learners bring into the classroom. Learner-centered education is culturally relevant, culturally responsive, culturally appropriate, and culturally compatible. It reiterates the importance of developing curriculum that is based on the interests, needs, developmental level, and culture, which includes indigenous knowledge of the learners. It empowers the learners as active participants and leaders in the learning process. Constructivism is a theory of learning that explains that knowledge is constructed based on the prior knowledge and experience of the learners. For the 7 challenges in teaching, it is the brand-based education. Brand-based education was brought by research in neuroscience. Seen and Singh in 1997 considered curriculum and instruction from a brain-based approach. They began with brain-mind learning principles derived from brain research findings and apply these principles in the classroom. And lastly, the 8 challenges of teaching, which is ICT integration in teaching and learning. The term ICT, short for Information and Communications Technology. embraces all forms of technologies that enable all people to receive information and communicate or exchange information with others. Through ICT integration in education, valuable information in all academic disciplines is made accessible to learners and teachers. And that should be all, ma'am. Thank you and God bless.